Right, so my job for today is to go ahead and take down the rest of this ceiling. Right, what I'm about to do to this ceiling requires me to have a hard hat on, and you lot closing your eyes because you didn't see me do this. Eyes closed, please. Right, I'm just going to clean up this mess first before I continue on with the rest of it because it's in my way. I'll be back in a minute. Right, I'm back. Sorry about this light, it's the only light I've got going on in here at the moment. Right, you might want to close your eyes for this next bit of taking down the ceiling. Oops. Timber. Okay, that was a very unconventional way of getting that down, but it was quick and the easiest way. I know it wasn't safe, but I made sure no one else was around me, and I put on my hard hat and I made sure I was out of the way when things were being pulled. Now what I'm going to do is have a good old clean up from all that scene that I've taken down, and I'll catch up with you once I've cleaned it all up. Clean up now done. Right, my next job is to go up on the ceiling up there, and there's a water tank up there which I need to take out. I'm now going to go and drain the water out of that tank and then attempt to remove it. Right then, there's the water tank emptying out. I don't know how long that's going to take, but until that's empty I can't take the tank down. Right, that tank has now drained off with all its water. I'm now going to go up and start disconnecting the pipe work to it and taking it out. Right, I'm back. I didn't film me taking the tank down because my memory card was full. Just got on with it and took it down anyway. You weren't really missing much. It was just taking the tank down from the roof. Got it down now. What I've had to do is I'll just spin you around and show you up the top there. What I've had to do is take out two of the ties. They weren't put in there very well in the first place. You can see where they have been cut up there, and then they was just nailed in above it, above where they've been cut. I guess they've done that to put the water tank in. So it was only one screw on it, it was only one nail on either side, which I didn't like that idea anyway, so I'm going to put a good heavy screws into that when I put them back up. Now that's the tank down. Now I need to take this outside, and I'm glad I've got that down because inside of the tank is pretty gruesome. And let me just get a torch. Right, so you can see inside this tank it's pretty gruesome inside there, and that's the water that we've been using for having a shower in. Yes, it's filtered before it goes into this tank, but filtering it before it went into this tank really ain't made much difference, really, in my opinion. I'm glad I've got that out. Now, so I'm just going to take this outside now and have a really good clean up because I've made a bit of a mess in here. It's pretty wet in here because there's a little bit of water left in the tank. As you can see, it's all come around by the door, all over the floor area. I'm guessing all this was probably a lid that they put on top of it, and it's just corroded and fell inside it, which is all down here on the floor, all inside. So yeah, it's pretty gross. Just go have a clean up, and then I'll get back to you after I've done the clean up. Well, I've had a clean up now, and we've also had a visit from a local chap to come and look at doing the driveway for us. So hopefully he's going to come and do that for us within the next week to 2 weeks. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to put these ties back up on the roof that we took out to take the water tank out. Now let's go ahead and make a start. Right, I'm going to hold it off here for a moment because I need to pop out and go and get some more diesel for the generator because we're running a bit low. And I'll catch you when I get back. Alright, morning everyone. As you can see, I've had a really good clean up in here now. Water tank is down. I've just got to sort out some of these water pipes, but I'll do that a bit later on. Now today's job is to take down the rest of the render that's over by the fireplace there, and also take off all this battening and everything that I've left on this wall as well. Also that door frame over there is a bit rotten, so I need to take that out as well. So that's my plans for today. And I don't know if I've mentioned before or not, but if anyone knows of any way of cleaning the soot off of this chimney, please let me know, because we want to turn that into a feature as well, because Marie wants to get a range to put in that area, a range cooker to put in that area, which would be really nice when that's done. Now I'm just going to go ahead now and start taking off the rest of this render and then take these battens off. Let's go ahead and make a start. Oh, the weather has really changed outside. It's starting to get really cold now. I might have to go ahead. I might have to go and start that fire in the snug to try and warm the place up a little bit. But whether it's going to warm it up or not, I don't know, because obviously we don't have any insulation in the house whatsoever at the moment. And now I've taken down the ceilings, it feels a little bit colder in here. Right, let's go ahead and start taking this render off the walls. Right, now that door frame's out, I'm going to take all the render off that wall around the door frame. Oh. Right, I've had a bit of a clean up now. My next job now is to go ahead and take down the rest of that plasterboard that's around that window. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. discover something really interesting under that windowsill. Here we go. Can you read that? I will get a picture and put up if you can't read that. It just says Roy, the tap revamped this house from November 2002 to March 2003. So I'm just going to go off and show Marie this, and I'll come back to you in a sec. Right, I'm back. Marie's going to take a picture of that and put it up on our Instagram. If you haven't been over to our Instagram, go over and have a look. We've been posting pictures up there on a weekly basis. Right, I'm going to carry on with this. Okay, that's all down. I'm now going to go and have a little bit of a clean up I'm now going to have a bit of a clean up of the mess I've made, and then I'm going to decide whether I take that render off the wall or not. I thought it was a lot thicker than what it is, because in some parts of it it's really thick, but towards the end of the door over there it's not so thick. I will have a look at that, and then I'll get back to you once I've decided. Okay, I'm back. I've decided that I'm going to leave that render on the wall there for now, because it is actually quite thick. It's probably a couple of inches thick in places. But we haven't got any damp issues with that wall. It all seems to be on the back side of the house where we have the damp issue. Now what I've decided to do instead is, I've got to get, if I zoom you down, all these tiles up off the floor, because we really don't like these floor tiles anyway, and we might as well just get them up. Now I'm going to go ahead and start taking these tiles up, and I'm probably going to put some earphones on for this one and chill out a bit while I'm doing it. Alright then, I'm just going to go ahead and clean up what I've done so far on the floor. I don't know if you could see what I've done so far, but that's about just over halfway we are of getting the tiles up. So I'm going to go and get rid of that pile of rubbish there that I've got up, and then I'm going to try and get up the adhesive off the floor before I do the next half. Now I'm going to have a cup of tea and I'll catch you once I've cleaned up this mess. Right, morning everyone. I've now cleaned up all the flooring now from the floor tiles that I've got up in the kitchen area. Let's just have a look at that now. Right, as you can see, all the tiles are now up off the floor. Yeah, and I've had a good old clean up. We have got some slight changes to our plans on the layout of this area now. What we're going to be doing now is we're not going to be fitting the kitchen up this end where the old kitchen was. We're now going to be fitting the kitchen down this end where the chimney is, because we have found this beautiful original chimney which we're going to clean up and try and restore that somehow. We're going to be putting a range in, and we're going to have the kitchen over this end. So the kitchen's going to come from here, where we're hopefully going to put a range, and it's going to come round under the window here, which the window I'm going to have to raise up a bit because of the work surface. It's going to be a bit too low. And then we're going to put a bar across here, a breakfast bar across roughly where the old wall was. And then we're also then going to be taking out this back door and this window, because we're going to put in some French doors. Yeah, and over on this wall we're just going to have a big TV up on the wall or something. So that's the plans for the kitchen in that area. Now let me take you into the snug where Marie's been working. It looks a bit smoky in here, but trust me, it's not smoke, it's just dust where we've been cleaning up. But we do have a carbon monoxide detector just in case the fire does start kicking out carbon monoxide. So as you can see from the walls in here now, in the snug, Marie has been doing a really great job on raking these walls out. Yeah, there's just a tiny little bit more left to do that she can't reach. Like, I've got to go up on the gable end up the top there and do some bits. I think it's just some bits left around this wall here, around the window to do. And then that's all the raking out done, ready for pointing. Like I said before, we're going to repoint all the walls out in lime, and then we're going to put our battening framing up for insulation and plasterboard in, and obviously a vapour barrier going up. This wall we are as well going to keep as a feature wall. Marie has tried to clean up some of the stones as here can go. They are going to clean up quite nicely, but if anyone can recommend any sort of cleaner that we can use to put on them after to keep them nice and clean and natural looking, that'd be great. This has been raked out all the way up to the top. I have got to do a little bit of repair work on the ends, which I'm not too worried about. And the other news is we're decided that we're not going to go with a vaulted ceiling anymore. We are still going to have quite a high ceiling where it's going to follow the cornering of the roof up and down. The ceiling is going to be roughly about 3 meters high that we're doing, which if you look at this wall here, let me get you a bit closer, you might be able to see, let me just get you here, there are some stones that are sticking right out on this wall. So our ceiling is just going to go just above that. So that's the plan now, to do that. And then obviously the rest of the space is all going to get filled up with insulation and vapour barriers. That's the plans for in here, and as far as we've got in here at the moment. Over there in the corner in the boxes is a shed. It's meant to be 5 meters long, but I can't see it actually being 5 meters long. It's only a metal shed, cheap one off Amazon. It's just so we can get our stuff over from the UK and put it into storage. So I am going to have to put that together at some stage. I'm not holding much hope out for it though. I've got a feeling that I'm going to be putting it together and doing a lot of modification to it. let's just say. But we'll see what happens. And we've also had ESP contact us. We have now paid for the reconnection of the electric. We're just waiting for an electrician to come out now and do some little bits for us and get a safety certificate off. So hopefully that won't take too long. We're hoping to get an electrician out next week. And as for outside in the front, I've just been doing a few side missions outside off camera. I did have some of it on the camera. I've just been cutting the grass down a bit more out the front here, because hopefully next weekend we got some young lad coming who's going to be scraping back the grass and putting a load of stone down for us, so we have a nice drive base that we can drive on. So hopefully we can get that done next week.